you're a professional?
Are you?
That's it, Clark. Show him who's boss.
Oh, we're all in this together.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the Clark Griswold YouTube channel. I am Mr. Clark Griswold. Thank you for joining me today. Guys, if you are new to the Strat, new to the channel, or are struggling with your trading, we are about to change the way that you guys trade in the stock market. Okay, you can start off by going down below and clicking that subscribe button, and then click the bell. The bell is the important part. That will give you the notifications for when I send out videos just like this one every single day. So this is our watch list for Tuesday, July 5th. I send out these lists every day for you guys. I send out top 5 watch lists. I send out weekly swings, which are coming for this week, monthly swings, which are coming for this month, quarterly swings, which are coming for this month. Okay, so I send out all of those for free. I also have over 200 videos on this channel for you guys to learn how to trade in the stock market successfully, confidently, and consistently. Okay, so 200 free videos, everything from what the candlestick numbers mean, entries and exits, what the setups mean, Sarah Strat Sniper's 50% rule, the hashtag 30 and 30 setup, 3-1 setups, inside bars, double inside bars, trade reviews on trades we've taken. Okay, so I have a ton of information for you guys to go through and learn and become a consistent trader. Okay, you can also follow me on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. I send out tweets there throughout the day on setups that are coming or possible trades that are developing. So I send out tweets there. You can also comment there. You can ask me questions in my DM. I answer everything, guys. So ask me, I will answer it, or I will find you the answer or push you in the right direction to get you that answer. Okay, I'm here to help. A couple of sidebars before we get started. This platform that I use here is called TradingView. If you guys have never used TradingView before and you are interested in it, you can go down, click the link below. That'll take you to the TradingView website. There's a 30-day free trial, and if you decide to sign up, you get up to $30 off your subscription, depending on which subscription you choose, okay? So click that link in the descriptions below. And what else was I going to tell you guys before we got started here? Oh, the ads. This is the worst part of it, guys. I want to keep this stuff free for you guys, or the majority of this, or the main part of this. I want to keep it free. I want to keep the videos free. I want to keep them rolling. I don't want to start a Discord to start charging you guys to see all this stuff, or a website or whatever. So the way we fix that, guys, when the ads come up, just let them run, okay? 15, 30-second ad, let it run. That will allow the advertisers to pay to keep this for free. Keeps the money in your pocket or in the stock market, and I don't have to change this over to a fee-based subscription where you guys have to pay for everything, okay? That's not what I want to do here. That's not to say I'm not going to start something that has a little bit extra for anybody who is interested. If you are, comment down below, because I think I have that kind of in the works where I'm going to have some added things for you guys to really help you with your trading. So let's get started on this watch list, okay, for the opening week. And again, normally at this time we would say let them open up. So we will let them open up for the day and the week. The month and quarterly are 1 day old, okay? So they opened on Friday. They're 1 day old. So it's very possible that they could not stay the same color that they are. Right now, the monthly is an inside bar. The quarterly is an inside bar on NEO, and they're both facing down or trending down. It's very possible tomorrow, this is the only bar that exists for the month and the quarterly rate here, okay? This is it. So tomorrow, if we trend up, all 4 of these will be green, okay? And if we trend down, well, we're already all red. So what we've got here with the setup is an inside bar followed by a 2 up that finished red, so a failed 2, okay? And so when I'm looking for reversal plays, I like to see this 2 bar, if it's up, I like to see it red. it doesn't have to be that way in order for the reversal to happen, okay? This could be a green bar, a 2 up, and the very next bar could come down and it could be a reversal. But that's what we look for. We look for those 2-2 reversals. Where's the next 2? Is it a 2-2 continuation or is it a 2-2 reversal? So in this case, we have what's called a rev strat. Okay, so we have this inside bar and then we have a 2 up. So it's a 1, 2 up, 2 down reversal. So when we have a 1-2-2, it's called a rev strat. Okay, so we'll look for a reversal to the downside with puts at $20.95. And then we have this time frame indicator here, okay, with the day, week, month, quarterly, and yearly. And while I'm on this, guys, I'm looking at making a strat indicator in general to have a bunch of stuff. I want to have this on here. I want to have these numbers. I want to have these inside bars and outside bars painted. You guys are always asking me about the highlighted areas when we have the 3-1 setups or the double inside bar setups. I'm going to add those. I asked on Twitter. I will ask on here. If you guys have any ideas of what you think should be on here, write them in the comment section below. I think broadening formations, I've heard, it's going to be tough to draw broadening formations because they can go in so many spots. Okay, so that's probably not going to be something that's on here, but if there's something else, let me know and we'll see if we can get it added, okay? So, as I said, Neo puts at $20.95. I did not put targets on here, but we can. That first target is not great where we're sitting there. And then the next one would sit right here. If this trends up, that's very possible. And then we just have a 1-2-2 continuation to the upside. And the day, the week, the month, and the quarterly all move to green. Okay. We will go to EW. So EW has full time frame continuity to the upside. Obviously, we are waiting for this day and this week to open. And again, it's the same situation as Neo was. These can very easily just flip to the downside, and then we were all red all the way through. And I guess I should have given you guys this indicator if you're looking for it. It's just, you type in time frame continuity, the author is Board Rider B. And then if you want these candlestick numbers, you can type in candle type the strat by Crinklebind, okay? So let's look at this. Again, we have a rev strat is what we're looking at here. And actually EW, I think, was an old indicator off of this inside bar from Thursday. And it actually worked out. It was a really nice play. But we're going to take off EW. But again, this is what I was saying. You can have a 2 up here, and it can reverse tomorrow or on Tuesday, and you have a 2 green up, and you could have a 2 green down the next day. This color doesn't really matter, okay? But the probabilities, if it is a 2 up that finishes red as a failed 2, then the probabilities of it working out are just higher, and that's what we like to see, is a higher probability trade. So next up is Cisco CSCO. IBM. Cisco had a 2 down that finished green. We can look at this as a hammer candle. Okay, looks like a hammer. We've got this big head on the top with this big long wick to the downside, tagging the bottom of a broadening formation. Okay, so we can look for calls on this one at 42.69. This week, I'm not sure why it's showing red. I guess last week, that's why. Man. Welcome to the end of the weekend. Okay, so we've got 2 down green. This week is going to open up. And again, as I said in the previous tickers, if this trends down, these will all be red, okay? Because this candle for the month and the quarterly, this is the same candle because it's only been around for 1 day. The month has been a day and the quarterly has been a day. So it can very easily trend to the downside. And so we kind of need to wait for this thing to open up to see which direction we're going to head in. But we can look currently with the 2 down green. So it's a failed 2 to the downside. We can look for calls at 42.69 on Cisco. Okay, IBM is up next. IBM, same thing. 2 down green. We can take calls at 141.68. First target is marked there. And this pink line, guys, is for the weekly, okay? So this is our weekly level. On the week, last week, we were 2 up, but we failed. So we're a 2 down, a 2 up red. Okay. So what I'm looking for here now overall on this week is for a continuation to the downside. Okay, so we would have a 2 up followed by a 2 down reversal is what we'd be looking for. So puts on the weekly would be at 139.26, even though this daily shows that there's a possibility of it trending to the upside. So there's a little bit of conflicting information. We'll wait for the day and the week to open up. And like I said, this can trend down through this trigger here, and we are all red. So let's wait for it to open up, and that's kind of what Tuesday is going to be, is like a wait and see kind of approach to this stuff, okay? IWM will take off of here. If we go to Airbnb, inside bars, okay? Let's talk about inside bars. This is one of the things that I'll have on the Strat the Strat indicators that I'm looking at. I will have these bars painted for you guys, okay? So inside bars, okay, they do not break the high or they do not break the low of the previous candle. They stay within the range, okay? So what that's telling us is there's consolidation within the stock. It's a tightening range. It's like a spring getting spring loaded. And when that happens and it releases, if you release a spring that's coiled, it explodes to one direction or the other. And that's how I like to look at these. And we can go back in time. That was an outside bar. But we can go back in time and see what history tells us off of these inside bars with breaks to the high side or big breaks to the downside or another big break to the downside. And it's fairly consistent on the way that these inside bars work, and it's not foolproof, and they don't work all the time. But they do tend to have these big breaks where we hit our targets, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. Again, break to the downside for 2 days, we hit targets, okay? And that's all we can ask for when we're looking for these inside bars is if it breaks, we want to see it hit the targets. If it breaks, we want to see them hit the targets, and that's exactly what they're doing for the most part. If this one breaks to the upside and hits our target of the previous candle, okay? So inside bar on Airbnb, we can take calls at $91.53 or puts at $87.43. And then our targets are very simple, guys. It's the top of the preceding wick if we trend up. It's the bottom of the preceding wick if we trend down. And then you can proceed to mark out further targets higher or lower if you require, okay? Adobe is up next, ADBE. Adobe 3-1 setup, okay? So this is another thing that I want to have on our indicator that we're looking at. It's a 3-1 setup, outside bar followed by an inside bar. So outside bars, if you don't know, break the high and the low of this candle, of the previous candle, okay? So we broke past the high of this and we broke the low of this candle. So it's a 3, it's an outside bar. Then we're followed by an inside bar. So guys, this is a rare pattern. It doesn't show up a lot. Excuse me. And probabilities tell us that we have really, really good opportunities off of the breaks of these, okay? So here's one for 2 days it ran down. And I'm not expecting you guys to hold these for 2 days. I'm just showing you guys this as an example, okay? This 3-1 ended up being an outside bar, but it was a gap to the upside and then came back down. Okay, we'll look for one more here on Adobe. Here it is, but I think it went outside bar. So outside bar, inside bar, and then we had a break to the upside off of this. But you can see, guys, we hit the target. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. It hit its target, and then it reversed to the downside. Okay, and that's all we can ask when these candles are telling us what to do. Okay, they tell us exactly what to do. They tell us when to get into the trade, and they tell us when to get out of the trade. Okay, so we hit targets. You should have taken profit, had a stop loss set and out, and you would have made profit. So we're looking for that same thing here. With this inside bar, outside bar, we've got our target to the top side. We've got our target to the bottom side. Okay, our target to the bottom side, guys, is a pink line instead of green, because if we go to the weekly chart, we've got a 2 up that finished red. So we're looking for a reversal to the downside on Adobe on the weekly. And our trigger is the pink line. Okay, so if we hit first targets on the daily, that first target is the trigger for the weekly to be 2 down, okay? Hope you guys get that. Next up, AR. I know a lot of guys play this that follow me. The spreads on this are not great for me. I don't really like them, but if they are tight spreads, I don't have a problem playing this, okay? So again, just an inside bar. We can take calls at 31.42 and puts at 30.01. We want this to potentially, and again, because the month and the quarterly are only 1 day old, and the week and the day have yet to open, whichever way this goes, all 4 of these are going to be the same color. If we trend up, all 5 are going to be green. Okay, and again, we can go look back at history on the inside bars. Good break to the upside, break to the downside, break to the downside. Okay, inside bar, break to the upside. We didn't hit targets, but it trended up for 1, 2, 3, 4 straight days. Okay, and again, I'm not expecting you to hold on to these, but again, this one, inside bar with a beautiful break up. Inside bar, a beautiful break to the high side. So probabilities on these things are very, very high for them to work out, okay? DraftKings, DKNG, I think that had an inside bar as well, if I'm correct. It does. Inside bar, okay? We can look for calls on this one at 12.09, puts at 11.48. Our targets are marked. You can put in additional targets if you choose. DWAC is not something that I used to trade it when it was kind of in the news a lot. It's not anymore. The spreads have kind of failed and spread out quite a bit. I do have a daily setup here just because it is a 3-1. And again, you guys know how those 3-1 setups work. If the spreads are tight, I don't have a problem playing this one. If they're spread too far apart, it's not in my wheelhouse, okay? So calls at 24.46, puts at 23.37, and then we've got a weekly trigger to this high side as well on that pink line. Okay, XOP. XOP has a 2 down green, and this could have really been a green or a red. And even if it was red, guys, we can still look for this reversal to the upside off of this broadening formation, okay? And if I zoom out, you can see how this thing works. Okay, and if you guys don't know how to draw broadening formations, go check out my BF video, my broadening formation video. Hopefully it makes it clear for you guys. But we had a lower low, and then we come to these higher highs. Okay, back to a lower low, to a higher high realistically, and you could have drawn another broadening formation within this one, but then it comes back and tags the bottom, tags the top, tags the bottom. Let's look for this thing to potentially go back to the high side, but it's also very possible that we continue to break right down through, and that's what this purple line is. That's the quarterly trigger to go 2 down on the 3-month chart. Okay, so long-term play, quarterly, but we'll go through those in another video, okay? So that was XOP. The trade desk is TTD, and the trade desk, another inside bar, and we can just go back to look at these 3 here, and we had the break for 2 days here. We had a nice break here, hit target 1, target 2 because of the gap. Okay, nice break here, hit target 1, hit target 2. These candles are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, guys. And inside bars are probably the easiest thing, and I think they're the easiest because they're the easiest to spot, okay? And we want to try to trade with time frame continuity. And again, with this inside bar on the trade desk, outside of this year, if we break to the high side, everything's green. If we break to the downside, everything's going to be red. And that's kind of, this doesn't happen like this very often, but because the month and quarterly are opening up, the weekly's opening up, the day is opening up. The month and quarterly are already open, but they're all just a day in. Okay, so that's the key. So these 4 daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly, realistically on Tuesday can go either way and be all green or all red. And then Wednesday, you're going to see a little bit of a mishmash on some of the stocks with these being green or red. Okay, so TGT, that's Target. Target has an inside bar as well. And I am going to do a top 5 guys list and top 5 list guys and gals, so you know what is going to be on there already. We'll just go into them in a little bit more depth. Okay, so Target TGT has calls at 142.50, puts at 139.50 on this inside bar. Okay, 2-1-2 reversal is what we would look for to the upside, but we could have a 2-1-2 continuation to the downside as well. We want to trade with the time frame, and again, like we just talked about, based on what the candlestick does on Tuesday, they're all going to be the same color for all 4 day, week, month, and quarterly, okay? So SoFi 2 down, finished green, so a failed 2. We'll look for this to trend up. We can take calls at $5.49. ROKU, that's Roku, inside bar with a shooter candle or an inverse hammer, just means we have this big body at the bottom instead of the top. So an inverse hammer or a shooter, kind of looks like a putter. That is a bearish signal. So even though it's green, it would be more bearish if it's red. But we can take calls at 86.49. Our first target is not great, or our first order of magnitude, whatever you want to call it. The trigger to the downside is 82.13 for puts. And again, we have our target set at the bottom of the preceding wick. The next one would be right here at the bottom of the preceding wick. Then the bottom of the preceding wick. Then the bottom of the preceding wick. Okay? That's on Roku. Next up, we've got QQQ. So QQQ has an inside bar. I know the spreads on these ones are tight, so this is something that you guys could look at. The premiums usually run in that $200, $300 mark, okay, per contract. Or per 100 shares, I guess, if you want to look at it. So inside bar, we can take calls at 282.48, puts at 277.03. You want to look at inside bars on QQQ. We have some right there. Let me just scroll back. Outside bar, inside bar. This wasn't a great trade. Would you have made some money? You could have. You likely would have got stopped out. Okay, inside bar, gapped up for some money. Inside bar, nice breakdown for good money. Outside bar, inside bar. This one was kind of a crapshoot, but you did hit targets. Okay, right here. You did exactly what it was supposed to do. Hit its first target. Okay, inside bar, this went outside bar. Okay, so we started here, trended down with a failed, and came back up. Okay, and so this is what I'm trying to show you guys. I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. They don't work all the time. The probabilities tell us that they tend to work more often than not. Even this one here was not a great inside bar trade. This one went outside bar. Okay, so if you're worried about it, then don't play it on QQQ, and that's fine. But here's an outside bar, inside bar, gapped up. You could have played the gap on this for some money. Another inside bar to outside bar. Inside bar, nice break to the downside. Okay, inside bar, nice break to the downside. Inside bar here with a good break to the upside. Inside bar, we break to the downside and hit targets. So that's what I'm saying. You can run through a string of plays that don't work out, but the majority and the probabilities are telling us that it works out for these inside bars or for these 2-2 reversals or for these 3-1 setups, okay? We just want to make sure we're trading with the time frame continuity, okay? And for the day trades, I like to see at least that day and that week the same color. The month and quarterly, yearly are all bonuses as we move through, okay? So that was QQQ. Let's go on to Pinterest. PINS had a 2 down, finished green. So we can look for calls on Pinterest at $18.76, and we've got good magnitude to the upside here on pins. Okay, Pfizer, PFE. Pfizer has a inside bar with a hammer candle, so bullish pattern. We can take calls on this one at $52.38, puts on this one at $51.24, and then the targets are marked in green. Macy's, ticker symbol M, 2 down, green. We can look for calls for a 2-2 reversal to the upside. Calls at $18.15. Lyft, LYFT, inside bar on Lyft. Okay, so calls at $13.69, puts at $13.13. We'll go back in time and look. The last time we had an inside bar, good breakdown. Then we have another inside bar, a breakdown, hit targets, and then came back up. Inside bar, broke trigger, hit targets, and top of the broadening formation. Okay, so again, probabilities, guys. And the probabilities of this working out are very good. but again, not foolproof. So it doesn't work all the time. Okay, but that's why we have our stop losses set tight. GME 3-1 setup, outside bar, inside bar. We've talked about these already. So calls at 125.09, puts at 19.29. This blue line here is our trigger for the monthly. So if we look at the monthly probably has a 2 up that finished red is what I'm guessing. And that's exactly what we had, a 2 up that finished red. And so we've opened up already on Friday here. And this is our trigger to go 2 down. 2 up, 2 down reversal. So we'll see what happens with GME on Tuesday. I think I might have said Monday before, but Tuesday. Okay, guys, that's the main watch list. Stay tuned for the top 5 watch list. If it's not already out, it will be. I've got that one coming. I've got the weekly swings. I've got the monthly swings and the quarterly swings. So it's going to be a busy night or a busy morning for you guys if you're looking at this stuff. Good luck trading. If this is the only video you watch or if it's the last video you watch, good luck trading, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.